The sample that we are using today is sample A, which is a mixture of 4 aromatic compounds: anthracene, naphthalene, fluorine, and resorcinol. You will fill the syringe as I have explained before. You're now ready to place the syringe onto the injector for analysis. Before we start the analysis, we need to auto-zero the detector. To do that, we will use this icon, which is to zero the detector. When you do that, you notice that the baseline has now adjusted itself to start at 0. As you can see, this is the experiment that you have saved, the method file that you have saved. You will need to name your data file. This is the name that it will get stored as on the software. So, because this is our first chromatogram, we will call it chromatogram 1. And you say OK. This will open up a little window here with the start button to start the analysis. At this stage, we need to again transfer some of the solution to the sample loop by pushing the plunger in. You now need to position yourself so that you can use one hand to press the start button and the other hand to move the injector from the load position to the inject position, which is at the bottom. This motion needs to be done quickly so that the sample can be introduced as a small plug through to the column. If you do this motion too slowly, you will end up with broader peaks, which is not what we want today. The software indicates that the sample is now running through the system. As you can see, the first peak is eluting out of the column. Followed by the other peaks. I will zoom in so that you can have a better look at the chromatogram. Our sample A contains 4 compounds. However, on the screen, you can see that there are 3 peaks, which indicates that 2 of your compounds are eluting out of the column simultaneously. We can now stop this analysis by pressing on the stop icon. The software will now save this chromatogram. In order to achieve the better separation of the 4 compounds, we need to change the solvent B concentration to include some water into the mobile phase. So we will change solvent B to 90%. Download to save the method. OK. Whenever you change the mobile phase composition, which is what we've done now, we've changed it to 90% methanol and 10% ultrapure water, which is solvent A. So whenever we change the solvent composition, we need to wait 10 minutes to equilibrate the column with the new mobile phase. Once your analysis is complete, and you want to do further work on the chromatogram, you will press Data, Browse. this will take you to the post-run window where you can make other changes to the chromatogram, and you can also develop data reports which shows you the retention times, and in the table it shows you the area of the peak, the height of the peak, etc. You can also print your chromatogram from this screen. This is the chromatogram of the second analysis that we did, where we changed the mobile phase to 90% methanol and 10% water. As you can see, the compounds are now spending a longer time in the column, and hence we are getting better separation. The 100% chromatogram for 100% methanol, you had 3 peaks which were not well separated. Now with the 90% you can see somewhat better separation. However, the last 2 compounds are still very close together, so they are not baseline resolved. Therefore, you will need to again change the mobile phase to achieve better separation. We will do that by going to the real-time analysis screen. Now there. Change the mobile phase where it says solvent B. We will change it to 80%. And again, download the method to save the method. Once your system has equilibrated at 90% for 10 minutes, you are now ready to inject the sample under these conditions. So again, you will go to single start and change your data file name to chromatogram 2 -90 to indicate that we are now using 90% B. Is that okay? Okay. As explained before, you will push some of your solvent through the injector and move the injector position from load to inject as quickly as you can. We need to change the solvent B concentration to 80%. Download. Say OK to save your method. Again, you will wait 10 minutes. Once the HPLC has equilibrated at 80%, we are now ready to do an injection. Again, you will go to single start and change the data file name. So we will call this 2-80. Say OK. Again, ensure that your injector is on the load position and push some of your sample through the injector. You are now ready to inject the sample. Once all 4 of your peaks have eluted and are visible on the screen, you can use the stop icon to stop the injection. This is the chromatogram at 80% methanol and 20% water. As you can see, the compounds are now well separated, especially the last 2, which were unresolved at the composition of 90%.